It's the cold hard truth. Everyone really want to know what's going on with her show. Just get on the air and you will know it's Sandra. The queen of the mile road is here, helping people from everywhere. Get on the phone and you will hear Sandra. Now she will tell you how it goes, but don't you ever step on her toes, 'cause you will hear the cold hard truth from Sandra. They say she's the hero in town, helping people from all around. You get a call, your money is found, it's Sandra. Some will call her late at night just to say that there is a fight, and she will not just leave it alone. She'll get up and call on the phone, and when politics starts on her show, everyone really wants to know the way the things will really go with Sandra. Some will start to criticize, get on the show and tell pure lies, but soon they will realize it's Sandra. And when they start to argue again, she'll pull the heads to the wind, and soon you will be a friend of Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone wanna hear from Sandra. Every day everyone wanna hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone got to hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone got to hear from Sandra.
Good morning, K-Man. Rise and shine, honey child. It is time to get up to another gorgeous, beautiful day in paradise. Yes, we had some rain clouds, I think, on some parts of the island, but it's shaping up to be another gorgeous day. Still loving the weather. Still very, very nice. People are flying from south, like way south, to be part of our amazing weather system. Because guess what? A lot of the world, I should say, North America, Canada, North America meaning the USA, and Canada, getting a lot of snow. Nice. I was kind of wishing I was getting some snow. You know what they always say? You want what you don't have and what you can't get. That's human nature. Never satisfied, you folks. Ha ha. Anyway, I ran into some good Canadian folks yesterday visiting our beautiful island, and one of them was saying to me, Sandy, I can't get your show in Canada most of the time. And I said, yeah. She's like, I want the gossip. I said, I hear you, honey child. Everybody likes a little bit of sauce, no doubt. So I said, yeah, it's one of those things where unfortunately, there's still this rift with Canada and the Meta people. Yeah, it's been going on for years. I'm surprised it hasn't been resolved. Because what's his name? Thoreau? He's out. So I'm surprised the new government hasn't rethought it and said, maybe we shouldn't shake down Meta, because it all came down to the fact that the Canadian government believed that Meta should be compensating and paying businesses like newspapers and stuff like that, media, should be paying them. And Meta was like, huh? We should be paying them, but we give you guys an amazing platform to get your name out there. So what Meta did is if you live in Canada, they blocked you from any page that is registered as news. Isn't that wild? So they can't get, I'll have to refresh my memory whether or not that includes Canadian pages. I mean, I kind of hope not, but for sure, anything outside of Canada. So that's why a lot of Canadians cannot get CMR anymore on Facebook and stuff. So I said to the lady, I said, listen, here's what you do. This is precisely why we set up CMRTV.com, because there is a world where if you're a content creator and you solely rely on third parties like Facebook, Instagram, whatever, as Caymanians would say, one day dog gonna eat your supper. So you've got to be smart about this. And as someone who is in that content creator space, I understand it all too well. And I said, you know what? We don't want to be entirely reliant on them for our live stream feed. So now we have a website. You guys can go there anytime you want, cmrtv.com. Anytime you've got something live, it's on there and you can watch it directly from the website. She's like, oh, I didn't know. I said, yeah, we're still working on the website, but it's working. So the only thing that has surprised me about that situation is it hasn't actually been resolved. Poor Canada. Poor Canadian friends. They're over there like, oh, we can't get the Sauce Girl. What's going on? I said, well, I feel you. But it's for their government to fix. Certain things your own government has got to do. Your own people have got to protest and get it done. So I don't know if it will ever be resolved, but there you have it. I'll try to see if I can get some updated information on it. As a matter of fact, give me 1 second. Let me put on my glasses here. Did anybody, I'm curious to know what you guys got for Christmas a little bit. I told you around here it was so low key. But has anyone tried any of these smart Meta glasses? They're starting to, not Meta, but AI glasses, I should say. They are starting to become, more readily available. And also, the price point seems to be improving. See, the problem with somebody like me who actually wears glasses again, I used to wear glasses and then I did LASIK. Worked for many, many years, man. That was the best money I've ever spent. Oh my God, I wish I could do it again and it would work. But apparently there comes a time when the eyes just adjust in such a way that, you're going to need the reading glasses, because basically I have 3 different ranges on my current glasses, depending on what it is that I'm looking at. So it's unfortunate though, because man, I tell you, I loved me some LASIK. Oh my God. I had it done my first year of law school. And, university was tough with glasses because back in those days, I started wearing them, I think maybe my first year of university, I finally was able to get an appointment, but I needed them way before that. Like I really couldn't see. I was always running over the curb when I was learning how to drive. And my aunt was like, what's the matter with you? Can't you see? And it turns out I couldn't see. And I kept telling her, I think I might need glasses. And she's like, no, you don't. I was like, lady, you're not an expert here. Anyway, when I moved out on my own and I could afford to go and get my own appointment, I went to the doctor and they said, have you been driving with your eyes like this? And I said, yes. They said, Lord, lady, You definitely need glasses and you should not be driving. Your prescription is pretty bad. I said, well, that explains a lot. That explains why I was running over the curb all this time. I kept telling her it wasn't just that I was a bad driver, I just couldn't see. Anywho, back in those days, they had the metal frames. And I'm actually allergic to metal that's not a percentage gold. So I can wear gold, platinum, but I can't do these other things where the alloy mixtures is different, I guess. So anywho, I was really tortured by glasses because anywhere the glasses touched me, I would go bald. So I was literally going bald, like on the side of my ears, on my nose bridge. And, like here was bald, here was bald. And back then, plastic frames, nice looking plastic frames, I don't know, they were just not a thing. It was hard to get plastic frames. It's like these metal glasses. So eventually, when I could afford to get the LASIK, I was so happy because anytime I would exercise and I would sweat, the sweat mixed with the metal like made it worse for me. So when I eventually got LASIK in my first year in law school, I was so tickled pink. Oh my gosh. I was like, this is just amazing. Yeah. So anywho, it lasted a while. Then I had a baby. Nobody told me, you guys did not tell me this, that apparently pregnancy changes your eyes. Why didn't y'all tell me this? Y'all could have warned me. I had no clue. All the hormonal changes apparently does a number in your eyes too. So I started to notice, oh my gosh, I can't see like I used to be able to see anymore. I feel like the signs are kind of fuzzy when I'm driving. And so I remember the optometrist, I don't know if she's an optometrist or ophthalmologist, because there is a difference, but an eye doctor, one of them, said to me, wait a little bit, because it's entirely possible that your eyes will settle. The hormones are going to settle down. Your eyes are going to settle back down. And maybe you'll be okay. I was like, oh, okay. And I said, well, can I do LASIK again? She's like, it's not going to be long before you're going to need reading glasses and stuff. And, then it becomes a little bit trickier. And I said, oh, man. So it lasted for about, how many years? At least 15 years. And she said, they didn't tell me there was an expiration date, but she said, yes, there is like an expiration date with LASIK. And I thought, man, I wish that could last forever. Life without glasses is good. But, the more we do things like using computers and stuff like that, none of that stuff helps, I must tell you. So anywho, we're back to wearing glasses, and now they're like trifocals. They have several different range, like I need it for reading, and then this distance, and then further away, especially at night. So I can take them off now, reading the computer, for example. Let me see if there's much of a difference. There's probably a very minute difference, not really much. So I can use the computer without them, but I tell you what, you actually forget to take them off once you have them on. And then, it's like you're switching between different things. So it kind of doesn't make any sense to be taking them on and off all day. So pretty much I leave them on most of the time. But yeah, so going back to these AI glasses, I would love a pair, but they're not practical for people like me who actually need glasses for prescription because, what am I gonna? I swear this guy, I need to talk to this guy here. Hold on one second. This guy keeps logging in to use the system here, and he keeps changing the theme. I need him to log out of this one and use the other one. Oh my gosh, he's driving me a little bit bonkers here. Every single morning, I have to adjust my theme back. And it's frustrating. It's the little things that'll frustrate you. Yeah, just use the other account. Use the other account I gave you access to. Okay. All right, need to get him off of this one because it's bothersome. All right, so anywho, so yeah, I would love a pair of those Meta glasses, but like I said, not practical if you were already wear regular glasses. And it would be really expensive to like change out the lenses, I'm sure. It could maybe be possible, but I'm sure it's gonna be like not worth it. Like, you know, crazy pricing. All right, let me get the links ready to send out in the channel. Somebody was telling me this morning, I woke up to a message. That somebody said my little flyer says Monday, January 6th. Oops. Supposed to say Tuesday. Okay, let me just see here. Give me 1 second. So someone was saying that they couldn't find us yesterday to watch the show. And I said, don't forget, follow that channel. I keep telling you guys, that is the best way to get the links because we send them out every single morning. So I'm going to just do that quickly. Telefono. Ooh, I think I should use a new emoji for calling on the telephone. 936-2626. Well, not really a quick, somebody said, I figured it was probably a paste, copy and paste. Not really. I've actually been doing the show flyers myself as opposed to having my graphics guy do them. I have been doing them myself through an application, and I'm kind of mostly there with it, but not 100%. Oh, honey child. What does Mia Motley have to say about the Venezuela situation? We got to talk about CARICOM's response. We're going to do a show tomorrow on it because I've got some special guests coming on. And they have agreed to come on to the program. So that's good. All right. Have you guys seen this debate? Nothing to do with Cayman, but you know, we watch World and stuff. We watch news and stuff like this from all over the world. And I wonder if you guys have seen this debate with Pastor Brian's. Yes, they did, Kev. I got 2 booked for tomorrow. But have you guys seen this debate with Pastor, what's his name, Brian, out of the US? He's a big time pastor in the African American community. But his wife actually wearing this dress that was too sexy for a pastor's wife's dress. Did you guys see this controversy? And it's different. Let me tell you. At first, I had to look really, really closely at it. And I was talking to my friend Kevin. You know, he's a fashionista and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, what the heck is she wearing? Like, it's too much. But then he was like, actually, it's not really see-through, you know, but it has that, the undercover of it has the same tone as her skin. So it looks like it's a see-through dress, but it actually isn't. So I thought to myself, still, it's too much. You guys, ladies, if you want to be in the church, you see, this is the thing. If you want to be in the church. You can't be part of the world and in the church at the same time. This is where now it comes down to you know, you got to choose. There's some things that are just not appropriate. If you're a pastor's wife, there's certain things that are just not appropriate for you to wear. I'm gonna get a picture of the dress and show you guys what I'm talking about. I think his name is Pastor Brian or something. He's a big time dude in the US. I kind of feel like, was he in one of the Housewives or something one time? Because somebody was trying to date him or something weird. What is his name? What's his wife's name? Let me see. So yeah, it's been causing a bit of a stir. And I low-key feel like there's a reason it's causing a bit of a stir. Hold on one second. Let me see. Let me see what his Bryant. So his name is Pastor Jamal Bryant. Bryant. And let me show you guys the dress and then you can tell me what you think. So, of course, he's defending his wife, saying that he bought her the dress. Okay, honey child. Maybe y'all need to spice up your personal life, but what I would say, honey, is, you do it in the comfort of your home. Like, spice it up in the bedroom. Because it looks like you're trying to get Zeus. He's sleeping. I thought he was already walked the way he came in here lying down. He walked? Yeah. Oh, you can leave him. Oh, Zeus is like, I don't want to go outside. I want to stay right here and enjoy some good air conditioning. This dog sleeps more than any dog I think I've ever had. He is just like a lounger. He's like, leave me alone, y'all. I'm not into it. Yeah, let me show you a couple of these pictures because they are, and it was for some kind of fundraiser dress. So she wore it to a fundraiser event and he said that he bought it for her. Leave my wife alone. He shut down critics. She went to UNCF ball and he says, I bought the dress and I like it. Yes, he got some eye candy on his shoulder, honey child. And I'm thinking, a little bit of modesty goes a long way. So this is a dress. I mean, she's pretty. She's got on enough makeup to probably, save a few children halfway around the world. As them old people say, a pound of makeup caked on. But this is what these people do, honey child. Look at the ring on her finger. Woo-sa. Work it, girl. Yeah, you can tell that he not hurting for nothing. He got good credit. In the US, you don't necessarily have to be, liquid. You just have to have good credit. You can look good if you have good credit because then you can buy all the fancy stuff. And as long as you can pay the bills, at least monthly, you're good to go. So this is the dress in question. I'm trying to find another image of them kind of walking. Yeah, here we go. This is at the ball itself. There we go. So you see the skin tone, like the cloth behind it. It's actually a lining of the dress. It's very, very close to her skin tone. So from a distance, it does look like, it's a completely nude dress, but it's a nude look is probably the better way to say it. So I think it's too much. You know, I've seen close-up pictures of the dress, and I think it's too much. And then even how you notice in the hip area, how all the design of the dress, like the little black lines there, come to her private area. Like they all come in to that area where your eyes focus on that. I can't give her a pass on this dress at all. I don't care if you bought it. I mean, good for you that you can afford to buy something so stupid. And no doubt, he probably, you know, no doubt he probably, I guess this is the fashion. I'm going to show you another one. I don't know if this is her or somebody else. I'm going to show you another one. But no doubt that he probably spent a pretty penny on this dress. You know, these dresses can cost thousands of dollars quite easily. So here's another version, similar concept, black and nude. But this one this one is not so bad. And again, I'll tell you why. You can see that this is a cover underneath. I think with her skin tone to the cover underneath, it's a little bit too close. Here, there's a difference, right? And so, you know, you can see the slip underneath. And then, you know, this one kind of really hugs her very, very tightly. She is obviously a shapely woman. And so, yeah, I don't think somebody said, yep, that's not appropriate for the first lady of a church. But honey, child, these churches, they are all about fashion and looking good. So he's out in these streets defending his wife, honey, child. She's gotten more press now than ever before. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with looking good. Like, I get it. Even church people want to look good. They want to feel good. Y'all are in the gym, working those muscles that God gave you. You're like, listen, God gave us the ability to get big muscles. So I want big muscles. I hear you, the pastor. So y'all be into it. Here's another picture of the two of them. You know, she's a pretty lady, but you can see she spends a lot of time on her looks. The hair by the pound and all the makeup and the nails got to be on point. And so look at him. He's like matchy with this outfit. Look at that. Green on green. So it is, you know, yeah. Somebody sent me a picture of a little house in the prairie. This is what she should be dressed like. So I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle here. I'm not saying that a woman needs to be dressed like, let me show you what the picture somebody just sent me. This is so funny. I'm not saying that you need to be dressed like this, covered head to toe, and a hair bonnet, sleeves all the way down, ankle, you know, I'm not saying that. But I also think some consideration should be given into your outfit and appropriateness of it if you're a first lady of a church. And I think he's pretty big in the States. Like I said, I've seen him. I feel like I've seen him in one of those housewife shows, but I can't be 100% sure. But he is, Pastor Jamal Bryant is in the world of churches in the U.S. I think he is known as, you know, pretty big. But he seems like he's very much a fashionista himself, because they both like to go all out with the outfits. So his closet is probably just as full as her side of the closet. He not like poor Marlon. Marlon's like, she takes up 3/4 of the closet. I have this one little section. Pastor Jamal probably got his own closet. Look at him. Look at that jacket. You know, he takes pride, look good. He probably has to go to the barber every other day to look like this. Be trimming that little goatee. Looking good. So, you know, yeah, okay. But the good Bible does say, thou shalt not have any, what's that section again? Thou shalt not have any false gods, like worshiping things. Like, yeah, we like nice things, but it can't be more important. Some of them be living a little bit too hard in this life. You know, so I think the overall design of the dress is a problem. Even People magazine picked this up. This has been trending. And so I'm going to go on the side of she could have done a better job with this dress. It's just not appropriate. If this was like Hollywood, Hollywood, aka Hollywood Weird, where they wear anything and nothing all at the same time, I wouldn't have a problem with this. She's 55 years old? What? No way. Really? She looks good. Ooh, honey child. Now, I know some cosmetic procedures have probably gone on here. Wow, she could pass for in her 30s easily. I mean, he looks 50-something. What, Miss Hottie for real? Aw, look at this. Look at another one of her dresses. She looks nice. I mean, she's a shapely, beautiful woman. Look at that. Yeah, he better be holding on to her a little bit more closely because them church deacons probably be checking her out. You know them already. Some of the nastiest people be up in church looking at people. I remember when I was a teenager in church, one of the most uncomfortable places for me to be was actually in church because I'm a busty person. Yes. And these church deacons, they'd walk up to me. Oh, Sandra, how are you? How was your week? And honey child, they're looking a little bit too closely at my breastises, my cleavage. And I couldn't help but have cleavage because, what can I say? Sometimes just the outfit, you pin it as much as you can, and they staring at my breasts. And I remember looking at them like I would stare them dead in the eyes and be like, excuse me, deacon, my eyes are up here. What are you looking at? Because it's almost like it was so obvious, Oh my God. They're ridiculous. Ugh, nasty men. So somebody dressed her with AI. Look at this outfit. They put her in a more demure outfit. Look at this denim, sneakers and everything. So they took the original pictures and then redressed her with a turtleneck. I love a good turtleneck. Are turtlenecks still fashionable in cold weather? I loved a turtleneck when I was growing up. Oh my God. But yeah, here she is, turtleneck, covered sleeve, long denim dress and sneakers. They're like, is this what you want the woman to look like? No. She could have looked a bit better, but here's what he said. Let me play the video because he went to bat for his wife. I mean, in a way, I like that he went to bat for her. I think more husbands could probably do that for sure. So I'm all for it, Pastor. I'm like, come on through, defend your woman. Because, yeah, who else is going to do it if you don't do it? Let me see if I can get this clip. Hold on. He's like, don't y'all mess with her. Let me tell you, in the name of Jesus, y'all need to leave modesty alone. This headline says, when modesty left the church. Ooh, the pastor said, you all will not be coming for my wife in the name of the good Lord. And I'm just like, brother, I do think that they have a point. They got a point. So I don't know. I think you should reconsider. And of course, all the church ladies sitting there shaking their head like, we can support you, Pastor Jamal, because we here because you look so handsome. You look so good. So we're going to be with you in the good first lady. All right, let's see what he had to say. Why can't I get this video downloaded? All right, give me a second. The video ain't videoing. 1 second. Yes, honey child, they stand up in church. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Yes, Pastor, you tell them. Worry about some souls, Pastor. Yeah, the dress wasn't appropriate. Just own it. Just say, you know what? I liked it. She liked it. But maybe you guys are right. Maybe I should have brought her that for the behind the scenes after party. The after party in your own bedroom. Yeah? that's when you could have wore that dress. Because, I believe y'all need to be spicing things up in your lives. Nothing wrong with that. They're a married couple, so they're allowed to do that. Give me a second. I'm going to get the video. But yeah, boy, he went to bat for his woman. The good Lord. I haven't heard what he said yet, but this is what I'm supposing. The good Lord said, y'all must stop lusting over my wife. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And then all the women going, Pastor, because we lusting after you. Because you so cute too. OMG. This is the most attention he's gotten in years. I mean, I do not remember. Like I said, I kind of thought his name came up on one of the housewives because somebody was interested in him or dating him or something. I don't know. But boy, he is really into fashion. He must be from Atlanta. Where is his church? Is it Atlanta? Because his fashion sense says to me, we are from Atlanta, baby. Look at this. Oh, yeah. Got those teeth nice and done. They look beautiful. Every single outfit looks like he is walking out of a fashion magazine called Atlanta Fashionista. Come on through, brother. I see you. All right. Let me see if I can get his video where he put y'all in your place about looking at his wife. Why does thou lustest after my wifey? Well, you can't help but lust if she looking this delicious. Let's see what he said. Here we go.
I needed to get this straight.
Oh, yes, Pastor.
I needed to deal with it head on.
Oh, come on, brother.
Because the other day, the internet went crazy.
Crazy.
About a dress my wife had on.
Hallelujah.
Now, they didn't say anything about the $4 million that was raised for the United Negro College Fund.
Woo!
They never mentioned that she prayed until heaven came down. They never said anything about this was the largest fundraiser for for HBCUs in the country. But insecure, jealous, petty, small-minded.
Have to bring it through.
People got in their feelings and set up a false barometer of holiness based off of a dress. Now you got to help some people because some people have embraced the full knowledge of ignorance without any assistance for understanding. The dress was not see-through. The dress was flesh color. But because you ain't never been nowhere and ain't never been exposed to nothing.
No, you did not, Pastor.
I needed to set the record straight. Y'all don't like this. I need to set the record straight. I bought the dress. And I like it. I don't care whether you like it or not. She ain't married to y'all. She married to me.
Ooh, honey, chill. You notice the cadence in his voice? I think that that's the right word, right? Cadence. American pastors have, if you're good, you have this cadence. And I guess all pastors should have it, but listen carefully to how he speaks. Let's listen to the first little bit again.
I needed to get this straight.
I needed to get this straight. You hear the cadence and intonation? Keep listening.
I needed to deal with it head on.
Yes, I needed to deal with it head on. Hallelujah.
Because the other day, the internet went crazy.
Crazy.
About a dress my wife had.
About a dress that my wife had on.
Yeah,
hallelujah.
Now, they didn't say anything about the $4 million that was raised for the United Negro College Fund. They never mentioned.
Giselle speaks like him. Who's Giselle? Is Giselle the wife? But anyway, that is the perfect voice. I must tell y'all, that's the perfect preacher voice right there. You got to have a good, you know what I'm saying? You got to be, yes, and the Lord saideth. And let me tell you, and we're going to go down in the river. Yes, let's go down in the valley, honey child. You got to have that. He's got a good, I think cadence is the right word I'm looking for. He's got it in the voice. And they didn't tell you about the house and the money that we raised and the $4 million. You hear me, brothers and sisters? Y'all must stop being so jealous and so petty. I think if I work on it, we might have a church going soon. You know, I can work on a little something. Aunt Lottie. I still got to do another episode of my Aunt Lottie show. Good Lord. Anywho, all the best to them. I mean, yeah, they raise a lot of money. That's great. For, Black colleges in the U.S. They play a very, very important role in allowing on a serious note, allowing a lot of African Americans to get an education and get opportunities. And, their fraternity worlds, their cousin Mark is in a fraternity. In fact, some Caymanians are in the same fraternity with him. They really support each other. It's like a network, and they support each other and they look out for each other. And it was so funny because when I attended the Tampa celebration, Community Way's 40th anniversary, the CEO of Tampa International Airport is one of his fraternity brothers. So when he saw my video, he said, "Oh, Sandy, I know him. And he's a fraternity brother." And I said, "Oh, really?" So, the fraternities in the U.S. are a big deal. I went to USF. USF back then didn't have fraternity row when I was there. I think it now has one where they have like their private fraternity housing, so you can stay slightly off campus but be in a fraternity house, like a frat house. So University of Florida, FSU, all those other schools, they were much bigger with, we had some, and we have like honor societies and stuff. So I was in the Spanish Honor Society and something else, some other honor society. But I wasn't like in a Black fraternity sorority would have been what I would have been in. Because they were I feel like they were kind of just coming into their own back then. I don't think they were really that big at USF back in those days, but they're definitely big in a lot of different places. And let me tell you, one of the things I love, it's an experience, I think, going to university and kind of being around fraternities and being in that environment. But one of the things that's really, really interesting is, especially in the African-American community, is they do these, what do they call them? Like the step dancing, where it's almost like a version of tap dancing. I love it. If I could be a stepper in a previous life, when I was at university, I would have been there stepping with somebody. It's like a cross between tap dancing and the line dancing that people do from the South, but it's like stepping, and they're very, very good at it, very, very talented. So a lot of times they'll integrate it with like the university bands and all of that stuff. But, who are we to judge? Stomping. Yes, that's what they call it, stomping. So Barbara says he should have worn the plaid jacket from the other picture when she wore the dress, as he looked like a pimp in the other picture. That's my opinion. To each his own, honey child. I knew it. Thank you, John LaRue. John, you're a man after my own heart. I knew he was connected to Housewife. So he was married to Giselle. Oh, yes. But I think when the show started, from the Real Housewives of Potomac, which I haven't watched in many, many seasons. Like I'm out of the loop with the Housewives shows. I haven't been keeping up. But yes, that's where his name kept coming up. And she kept throwing it out there. Pastor Bryant, the former wife of, like, that was her claim to fame. But I think that even when the show started, John LaRue, correct me if I'm wrong, but they already were divorced and moved on. He has 2 girls with her. But I have not watched Potomac in a long time. In fact, what's a little Ashley? She's now divorced. She left that old man that she's married to. How many kids did she have with him? 1 or 2? So she secured her money bag by having those kids with I think he was Australian, right? With the Australian guy. I never did like him. He was a little bit too creepy. There's like an age gap where there's a creep factor with men who are attracted to really, really young people. You're in your geriatric years and she's like 19, 20. It creeps me out. I can't deal with that. It's just, ugh. I imagine that you. Yes, Venetia, thank you so much. She says his wife looks exactly like his first wife, Giselle, in the show. They do have a similarity. Yes, he certainly likes them curvy and light-skinned and light-skinned. Marshall says, why would a pastor buy his wife, a skin tone dress for public function? Definitely not appropriate for a first lady. I mean, if he had done all black on black, listen, everybody's got their own taste. So I'm not trying to judge too harshly, but I honestly don't feel like it's appropriate either. But there you have it. Anthony says all these single church sisters, the first lady better look good to keep that pastor's attention. Anthony. Because wasn't the storyline that Jamal cheated on Giselle? I think that was her storyline, right? Strong Will says she's going in for Miss World. I mean, she is pretty. And hello, if she is really 55, well, what can I tell you? She is gorgeous, but still not appropriately dressed. Fix it, sister. Fix it. All right, this person says she is 55 years old, Miss Hati Hati. I'm glad that he picked an age-appropriate woman, though, I must say. Oh, no, sorry, the first wife is 55. Oh, you burst my bubble. I was about to say, I'm glad she's age-appropriate. How old is he? Sorry, the first wife is 55, and the new wife is 45. He's pastoring them younger women. From what I'm reading, she's a doctor, but those eyes might be telling me something I'm not seeing without glasses. Oh, my goodness. So he stepped down in age because he looks like he's in his 50s. Her, on the other hand, like I said, she looked like she was in her 30s, so that makes more sense. Another person agrees, definitely not an appropriate dress for a first lady of a church, causing people to sin by way of lusting, laughing out loud. LOL. Oh my goodness. What a hot mess. All right. Well, Pastor, good luck to you. I mean, you gotta look good. Oh my goodness, these housewives. They are always getting themselves into some trouble. So there's this thing about all of the different things that need to go away for the new year. I'm going to read you some of these. But you guys know about this whole 6-7 thing? Are you guys familiar with that? If you have kids, they're all going on talking about 6-7. Oh, my daughter. And nobody even knows what it is. It's just so ridiculous. But all these kids are into it. And, they are saying it. And so, hold on one second. Let me see now. I feel like I got to log in. Let me see. Is this my login? Hold on. Let me see if I can log in. I'll try to explain the 6-7 thing for you guys. All right, let me see here. 6-7. She's always like 6-7. I'm like, please stop. You don't need to do better. I'm trying to get an explanation for what it is because I can't even explain it because it's so stupid. If that makes any sense. Hold on. Yeah, what is this 6-7 thing? All right. Let me see if I can explain it. I'm just looking it up to see if I can get a good explanation. I don't even know where it got started. So, all right, 6-7 is a Gen Alpha meme. Oh my God. Our kids now are called Gen Alpha? That's what my daughter is, a Gen Alpha? Generation Alpha? Oh my gosh. I didn't even know. That's new to me. All right, 6-7 is a Gen Alpha meme where kids just shout the numbers 6-7 with a little hand gesture, and it basically means nothing on purpose. How did we get here? How on earth? 6-7. I'm like, why? Y'all so idle? You know what Aunt Lottie would have said? You better crack a 6-7 on that book that you're reading. It's just so weird. So they've been doing this whole thing on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, where kids just say 6-7, and they look for the numbers 6 and 7 together. So the other day we were somewhere and she saw 6-7. She's like, "Can I borrow your phone?" Because she ain't getting a phone until she's 16. We've done set that rule in place. And so she borrowed my phone to take a picture of the two numbers 6-7 together so she could send to her dad so he could see 6-7. You got to keep up as a parent, I must tell you, with all of these trends and TikTok, whatever. Although she's not on any of those things, the kids at school still talk about it. So I hear her mentioning TikTok and she hasn't been on TikTok, you know, but they're talking amongst each other. So you got to pay attention and know what it is that they're talking about. So she took a picture and she's like, "Can you send that to dad, please?" I'm just like, OMG. Same thing. They come in all these acronyms. OMG. She used to say one when she was younger that I couldn't figure out for the longest time. It was OMG and then something else in the end. Because one of the channels that I did allow her to watch, they were always saying it. And so I couldn't figure out what the rest of it was. I think one time I asked you guys and you told me. I was like, what the heck? Let me show you what she did. Oh, yes. We went to A.L. Thompson's on Saturday. And you know the little area where you have the house numbers and stuff? She saw it. And it's like an obsession with these kids. So she saw the numbers 6-7. And it clicked in their brain because they're so programmed about this whole 6-7 thing. So she's like, "Oh, my mom, can I borrow your phone to take a picture?" And this is what she did. She took a picture of the number 6-7 and asked me to send it to dad. You know, I did not send that to dad. I was like, "Okay, girl, you'll be fine." Yeah, it means nothing. Like it means nothing, but yet they're all saying it. Okay. Weird. I mean, I don't know what to say about it. It's just kind of weird. But I think the point is you got to keep up. What's the point? You got to keep up with these kids. You got to make sure that they are, you know, whatever they're into and whatever is going around in their little alpha. What is it? Alpha what? What are they? Gen Alpha? You got to be Gen Z and you got to go from Gen Z to Gen Alpha. We're Gen Z, right? Or Gen X. Which one are we? I can't remember. But you got to go from Gen Z or Gen X or whatever you're in to Gen Alpha to make sure you can keep up. But what's going on? So crazy. So here's a list of all the things that this social media site says. All of these things need to go away for 2026. So we have the 6-7 craze. We have demure. Apparently they're sick of hearing that. We have cooked. Okay. Massive, saying that it's overused. Mm-hmm. Incentivize. Is that even a word? Mm. It says in a long-standing effort to turn nouns into verbs, this is another culprit. Two separate submissions likened hearing the words to nail on a chalkboard. Patricia from Texas says, "What's wrong with motivate?" Instead, we say incentivize. I like incentivize, though. Full stop. And there's another one. For the same reason, period was banished. Redundant pronunciation explains Maybeth A from OR. The word perfect. There are very few instances where the word actually applies. So let's get rid of the word perfect. Gift/gifted as a verb. My bad. My bad is still around. reach out. First banished in 1994, this saying has strayed from the positive message it once intended to deliver. What started as a phrase with emotional support, overtones have now become absurdly overused, asserts Kevin B. from the United Kingdom. Y'all gonna be just fine, honey child. Don't stress yourself too much now. Aisle 2025 says Pastor Bryant is notorious for cheating. Child, it must be so hard in those churches with all those ladies looking so on point and fly and with their new dresses on. That 45-year-old woman getting competition from a 35-year-old and a 25-year-old, if you know what I mean. She had 2 kids. Oh, okay. Aisle 2025 says, I still watch all the Housewives shows. They're still good. Never cared for Miami. Yeah, Miami. Oh my God. Miami never really took off, but Miami was interesting. Thank you, Jim. He said, yes, Cadence is correct. Morning, honey child. Keith feels a way about it. Although John LaRue says, Keith, it's time to step off your soapbox. What did Keith say? Sherry Ann says, Sandra, they say, come as you are. Listen to me. No one is more into fashion than these churches. I'm telling you. Even Caribbean people, y'all love your hats. The bigger, the better. Dresses. Like when I go to church, I feel like I've just walked into a fashion show. Y'all be red bottom shoes if you can afford it. If not, you spray it on and you pretend. Y'all be dressed to the nines up in church. More so, I mean, I guess my experience has been in the African-American churches and the Caribbean churches. Now, Catholic church, do they dress that good? Like in Catholic church? I don't know. Or are they more like demure? Pun intended, but it's like the perfect word. How do they dress in church? I don't know. But y'all be fly like, I don't know what. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, and I will repay. Oh my God, I don't think the Lord is going to be that upset over this dress. Hot mess. His excuse is irritating, says Angela. I know, he's just telling y'all to focus on something else. The Lord rebuked thee, says Keith. Oh my goodness. Not that. What a hot mess. All right, let's move on. They'll be fine. Shane, good morning. I have not seen you in forever. Happy New Year to you and your lovely family. Shane says a rap song. The phrase comes from the song Doot Doot 6-7 by Philadelphia rapper Skrilla, in which he raps the line 6-7. I just dipped right on the highway. When was this rap song out? This is a recent rap song? I've never heard of him, to be honest. What's his name? Skrilla? The original meaning in the song is ambiguous, potentially referencing a street or police code. Basketball players, the song was frequently used in video edits featuring NBA player LaMelo Ball, who is 6'7" tall. Okay. Overtime elite player, I don't know who any of these people are, Talon TK Kinney also helped popularize the phrase by using it repeatedly. Goes to show you that anything can go viral these days. Anything. You can just say 5'2", and it's like, just make up a jingle with it or movement with it, a hand movement, and you're good to go. So Jim says, yes, the phrase originated from 2024 rapper Skrilla. Drip rap song, Doot Doot, which I've never heard of him, and I've never heard of his Doot Doot song, so I better go look it up. Associated with professional basketball players, viral videos of a young boy duped the 6'7" kid. Jamal, Marshall says, Jamal Bryant is 5'4". 54. Oh, I'm now in my head, like breaking up the numbers. I thought you were making a joke that his number is 5'4". He's actually 54. It must be so hard in these churches. Well, I tell you, y'all be tempting the pastors. Stop it, ladies, because of course you know they're blaming you. They're never gonna blame the pastor for his inability to control himself. It's always got to be the woman's fault, no doubt. Y'all be looking too good, honey child. Oh no. Miss Miriam says we lost the beautiful West Bay lady last night. Jan Ebanks. Why do I hear somebody talking behind me? Hello? Where's that noise coming from? Hello? Am I the only person who's hearing that? Miss Stacy, was that you outside the door listening to your radio again? Your phone? Because I heard something just now. I hear someone talking and I don't know where it's coming from. Hold on. Okay, I know I'm not going crazy. It's not time yet. Something was feeding through to me somehow. I was looking at my tabs to say, am I listening to something somewhere? Jim says it's a duppy. Oh my God. No, man, I heard somebody talking. Listen, Zeus lifted his head, so he heard it too. I'm sorry. Let me refocus. We lost a beautiful West Bay lady last night. Jan Ebanks, the wife of Denny Ebanks, passed away. Her hearts are broken. We'll miss her forever. I know Mr. Denny, I think, but I don't believe that I'm familiar with Miss Jan. Stacy says she's outside the gazebo, so it's not her. What? Now this is weird. Because I heard something just now. I heard something like a male voice saying something. Zeus, was that you? He's looking at me like, lady, what? Is there another stereo in here somewhere? No, man, I heard something. Was it Alexa? Alexa, were you just talking to me? Don't look like it was her. That's okay. Thank you. Wasn't her. I don't know where that was coming from, but I heard it. Thank you, Miss Lucille. Jan was a long-term employee of Community Race. Does somebody have a picture of Miss Jan? It's not ringing a bell, but maybe if I saw her. Good morning, Miss Faith and Hope. That's the 6'7", so Shamika laughing out loud. Oh my gosh, no, Miss Stacy's like, I'm out the gazebo. I don't know nothing about nothing. Oh my gosh. Okay. I want to talk about the e-bikes. Behave yourself, Jim. He's like, I'm telling you, it's the spirit from beyond with all this preacher and church talk. No. The voice is, what does this one say? The voice is the Venezuela Doppler. What is that? I don't know. Hold on, honey child. Let me make some adjustments so we can hear you. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Miss Sandy. I just sent you something to your WhatsApp in regard to that 6'7".
Oh, that's actually demonic? I don't believe that.
Yes, and no, because I was actually watching a video clip where her father was crying. He almost lost his son from that same thing. When he went looking for his son was in his room with a noose around his neck from that 6'7".
Well, I don't think that has anything to do with the 6'7". The young man probably has mental health issues that they need to address. But, I think sometimes these things are stupid and silly, and we want to blame everything on the demonic world. The biggest demons are the people walking around, sitting next to us in churches and at government functions, and we don't even know it.
No, that's true.
I'm not giving it. I think whatever, you can make anything negative and demonic if you give it enough energy. That's what I believe. And so I think that if you don't give it that energy, it doesn't take that on. And I don't think that these kids are doing it because they think it's anything demonic or whatever. It's just a phase. Like I'm trying to think what we did back in the 90s that I'm sure parents thought was stupid, and some of them probably thought it was demonic too. But it'll go away. So
But have you taken time to listen to the lyrics of the song?
No, I don't even know who these people are. I don't know who the people are, and I don't know.
Well, maybe you need to look. Maybe you need to listen.
Of the rap song is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm going to be honest with you, right? Sometimes I listen to music, including our Caribbean music, and it is the most vulgar music you can hear.
Yeah.
And you have to decide what you're going to consume. I'm going to give you an example. You know this young lady, Shensia? I love me some Shensia. I think she's beautiful. She's actually very, very talented. She's from Jamaica. She's Jamaican Korean mix or something. Really, really gorgeous young lady. I mean, beautiful, natural beauty. Yeah. When she wears no makeup, she's still pretty. And she does a few songs, but a lot of them are too raunchy for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like her and I think she's mad talented because actually she can do freestyling in a way that most people don't have a natural freestyling talent. She's actually very, very talented. She's got a body out of this world. Sometimes the outfit's a little bit risque, but she has a lot of talent. But the vast majority of her music, I can't put on in the car because you know what I'm saying? It's just not appropriate.
Right.
So is she being demonic? No, she's just in that dance hall world where it's all about, talking about people's parts, male and female parts, in the most vulgar way possible. That doesn't mean that she's demonic. I think, obviously if you're in the church, you'd be like, maybe she needs to, put that energy into something else. But I think she's already started to cross over into mainstream. So I do kind of believe that if she does more mainstream music, but listen, Jamaican people tell you don't mess with Shensia because we like her in the dance hall area. We like that raunchiness about her and whatever. So to each his own. If you don't like it, don't listen to it, is what I say. That's the beauty of this content that's out there. I love her song Hit and Run. Although when I think about what that song is actually about, if you listen to the lyrics and know what she's talking about, that's not a very nice Christian song either.
No.
You know what I'm saying? She telling the man she gonna give him a hit and run. So in other words, she gonna tap it and go off about her business because she don't want to deal with him in terms of a relationship. She's like, you getting too clingy. I gotta just do a hit and run. But it's got a good bass. It's got, like, I like the song, except when I start to think about it. But look at those old time songs about Sandra, give me a piece of your Julie Mango and all this kind of stuff. Come on now. We know what those songs talking about.
Right there, you know how to pick sense out of nonsense.
Hello. Some of them are so vulgar. There was a video that I came across maybe last year or the year before. And I really hope that I see it again it probably was Facebook, where this guy was saying to his daughter, I want you to stop listening to all these dirty music from, this era with all these curse words and rap music, whatever. So she was like, oh, okay. So she went back through all of the eras, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and literally every single era had especially like the 30s and 40s, those women would get up and sing all kind of stuff, my dear. Oh my God. It was ridiculous. It's just
that it's getting vulgar now.
No, back then it was even more vulgar. But you have listen, if I find some of those songs for you, you would drop. No. I'm talking, these are like American singers in the speakeasies. They were using the vulgarest of terms to talk about what they were doing. Y'all would be shocked. So I think the point I'm making is there's always been music in particular, or even fashion, that goes to like an extreme in vulgarity, or it's just like too much. It's not, I'm not saying it was mainstream, but I'm saying there was a certain portion of the population that were certainly listening to that type of music. And so this is where it comes down to personal choice. And this is why parents have to be careful. Be careful. You control what your kids listen to. Watch what they're listening to, pay attention to it, and you get to decide whether they, and this is why giving them these, phones and iPads and all this kind of stuff is ridiculous. If you give it to them too early, they get exposed to too much foolishness. They don't know how to manage it. They don't have the skill set. And that's where we as parents have to be careful. So do I believe there's some demonic element to this? No. Do I think it's, I think it's idle. And, again, parents need to pay attention to all of the trends and all the stuff that's happening with our young kids.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the BBLs right now. All these young ladies are into the whole BBL thing. You got to talk to your young people like, no, this BBL vibe is not good for you. All this cosmetic surgery, they're like 20 years old and they're trying to fix something. And I'm like, what are y'all trying to fix? So anyway, thank you so much for the call though. I mean, I'll watch the video, but again, I think that even as adults, we need to be careful what we are also absorbing and taking in. Because sometimes we also take in too much foolishness. But there you have it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, honey, child. Thank you. Thank you too. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I don't purposely go out there trying to demonize the world. And I think sometimes we look too hard for demons. And like I said, you don't really have to look that hard for them because they're like, they're right there sitting next to you all the time. You just don't know it. For some of y'all, it's your husbands, it's your uncles, it's these child molesters in your families. Those are the demons. I'm just saying. Those are the demons. I subscribe to this page on YouTube. And it's called Tell Someone. And it's about survivors who tell about their experiences of abuse. It has over 260. Oh my God. You scared me. Whew. Zeus, I hear somebody outside. Now he's hearing the voices. He's like, Mama, I hear the voices too. Okay, sir, come here. Come. Okay, all right. Hi. Okay. All right. Ooh, did you see how deep his voice got when he barked in the microphone just now? His heart is pumping. Bark in the microphone again. It was like, whoo, whoo. Hello. What's going on? You're hearing a voice as well. You're hearing a voice too? He's like, yes, there's somebody out there. I'm going to let you know. Roof, roof. So your dog has Chanel barking. Aw, little cutie Chanel. We still have to arrange a play date between them. Zeus can be a little bit feisty though with other dogs. So I got to be watching him. He likes small dogs, but big dogs, he kind of gets like an attitude, right? You get an attitude. There's one dog in particular that he does not like, and I can't figure out why. Because normally you're so sweet. Yes, you are. So what was I going to tell you? Oh, yes. Have a look at this page. The stories are so incredibly sad. And they always pop up on my timeline because I'm always reading them. So, Facebook will show you more from pages that you follow and stuff like this. But it's about children who have endured child abuse. And every story I read, You need me, Miss Stacy? Come, honey child. This is going to be a long conversation.
No, which of the window in the back is broken?
Broken? I don't know anything about.
So the landscape guy broke a window, so the guys are here to look at it.
I don't know anything about a broken window.
Ask him because I can't find.
Somebody told him a window is broken.
Yeah, so why Mr. Mullen have them here? Because I just talked to Mr. Mullen today.
I don't know anything about it.
I don't know about it. He said I know they should talk to me about it. I don't know.
Okay.
So ask him.
But tell the lawn guys I do need to talk to them.
He just talked to them, so they don't know.
Who's he?
Mr. Mullen, but he
No, but Mr. Delano is not there.
not Mr. Delano. These are different people.
All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna check your phone. I don't know anything about a broken window. Okay. All right. He said he don't know nothing about a broken window. What the heck is going on? I don't know what's going on around here. Okay. Marlon says, I don't know about any broken window. You just spoke to the lawn guys? I don't know anything about that. Somebody's confused around here and it ain't me. I mean, it might be me, but it's not because... Okay. Oh, security center. Huh? All right, okay. Give me a few minutes, folks. Let's take a commercial break because Lord knows we're gonna need a minute. We're gonna need a minute. Apologies. There was some confusion at the front door, and I don't know who Mark is. Mark, if you're listening and somebody broke your window, the guys are looking for you to fix it, but it ain't me. I'm not Mark, and my window's not broken. The lawn guys broke your window? and somebody's looking to fix it for you, but apparently they have the wrong address. Oh, so weird. Anywho, yep. All right. So I've just gotten word of Miss Jan, her picture. Oh, I'm so sad to hear this morning. My condolences to her family. And yes, it's already on social media. So the top middle picture looks familiar. I feel like I have seen her before. Poor thing. So sorry to hear, Mama. Condolences to Miss Jan's family. There's quite a few people right now going through some diagnoses. What's the plural of diagnosis? Diagnoses? Or is it still diagnosis? Sounds like it must be diagnosis. But there's still there's some people going through some news about cancers and other things in our community. So it's been a tough start to the new year already. So let's continue to keep those people and their loved ones in our prayers. Oh Lord, have mercy. I don't think these kids know anything about that 6-7 thing. It's just taken over at a different level, Jim, that only God knows what's going on. Owen says it's demonic. There's no connection between the Gen Alpha 6-7 trend and the occult or demonology. It isn't a spell or a ritual. It isn't related to the number of the beast. Every dictionary.com named it in 2025 as word of the year, describing it as a nonsensical expression and a burst of energy. Bottom line, if you hear kids saying 6-7, they aren't summoning anything. They're just quoting a TikTok meme about a tall basketball player and a catchy rap beat. I agree with you, Owen. I think that's what it is. What do you think about Alan Jackson talking about in the country music, let's get drunk and Did he say that? Did Alan Jackson actually say that? What the heck? I'm telling you, some of these songs, you just got to listen to the lyrics and you're like, ooh, what a heat. Okay. All right. Hold on, Miss Stacy. She's asking me to unlock the front door. You guys need to get these smart locks. They're so amazing. So we have workmen coming in and out. So what I can do now is I can deactivate the Insta lock option for the front door, lock settings. So it automatically locks after a couple seconds, and we're going to turn that off and then unlock it because we have these guys going in and out. Okay, so let me just unlock it for them. Yes. Oh, I agree. Oh, yes. Sustainable change. All right. So I want to talk briefly about the whole which smart locks do I have? We do the Slage locks. I find that they're the most durable. Their interface is easy to set up. We've got multiple locks. I can just log in from my phone and add people, remove people, unlock the door, lock the door, set all sorts of security features. So, all right, let's talk about a few things in the community. First of all, did you guys see this truck? This van? Not truck van, tour guide. Look at this. Have a look at this. What madness is this, folks? Driving like a bat out of hell. And I do mean going around the roundabout like they're crazy, changing engine leans with no indicator. Like the actual bus is leaning to the side because of how quickly they are taking the roundabout. This is so dangerous. We have reported this to the relevant authorities because obviously this is something that needs to be done. Something needs to be done about this. We got the license plate number. It has been reported to the relevant authorities because the last thing we need, God knows, is for there to be an accident with a van or bus full of people and we have multiple injuries or multiple fatalities. I don't know who this driver is, and I don't know if he was drunk that day or if he was on something, but this is not reflective of the type of road activity that we should be seeing in a roadway, especially with a van full of tourists. The only worst thing I can think about seeing on a road like this would be if that was a school bus, because that would be even more egregious with children, obviously. But I agree. This person this is dangerous driving. This is careless driving, maybe even dangerous driving, because obviously they're speeding. Now, the person who sent in the video had been following them all the way from West Bay Road. From before I think they even went into the Canada Bay area. So yes, they were recording with their phone because they saw dangerous driving. So they captured some of it. But thank God that they did. But I want to stress to you guys, get a dash cam. How many times do I have to say it? You don't have to record this stuff if you got a dash cam, because dash cam is catching it all in front of you. And then you just download it from the dash cam. The ones that we sell are easy because you can download those basically off of the Wi-Fi onto your phone. And then, you can provide that evidence to the police. The police and the authorities need the evidence. I'm most grateful that we have it. But you recording it as you are also trying to drive is not the smartest thing in the world to do. Okay? So, please do your best to, just be cautious on the roadway. I get it though, because when you see someone being this reckless, your immediate position is, oh my God, I've got to record this, because you don't even think anybody's going to believe you. You're like, nobody's going to believe me that this is happening. It's crazy. My goodness. I am flabbergasted at how poorly some of you operate on public roads. And it's crazy. We have another one that is involving children. And I had someone say to me that the driver of the truck said it is not illegal to have passengers or children in the back of a truck. Well, that person sadly is misinformed, because it is illegal. It's against the law. And this is where it reminds me that we need, on a regular basis, perhaps what we need to do is like once a month, have a traffic officer or somebody from DVDL who's well versed with the traffic rules to come here and sit with us and go through different elements of the road code and the road rules and stuff like this, because you guys simply do not know. You don't know the rules. And I'm not saying that I know every single one, but I've been driving now for a hot minute. So I at least know some of the basics. You guys don't even know the basics. You know how dangerous it is to have passengers in the back of your truck? There's so many things that can happen, especially children. There's no seatbelts. And remember, there is a legal requirement for everyone in this country to be wearing a seatbelt. Gosh, I remember when my daughter was a baby. She used to hate being put in her car seat. She would cry and get all fussy. As soon as you snap that, but you hear go snap. She didn't want to be in there. And I said, well, you can cry all you want, honey child. You are not getting out of this car seat. Because I think when they get to like a certain age, they kind of want to start moving around a bit more. I'm like, nope. And guess what? In tutus, she got very, very used to this is the rule. In fact, I remember one time I was running at the top of the road, not even half a mile, just at the top of the road, like not on the main road or anything. And I jumped in the car quickly and I couldn't leave her. You know, she's underage, so I couldn't leave her inside. So I was like, oh, come with me, just get in the back seat. And she was like, Mom, I don't have on my seatbelt. She started to tell me that she didn't have on her seatbelt. And I was like, I had trained her so well that it is second nature now. You know, every time she gets in, if you get in a car with her and you don't have on your seatbelt, she's going to be looking at you sideways. Like, why are you not wearing your seatbelt? And this is a good thing. You know what it demonstrates to me as well? That when something is second nature to children, when we tell them, okay, these are the rules in life, we follow the rules, we're consistent. When you don't follow the rules, even as an adult, they're good and they're sitting there going, why are we not buckled in? Why are you not following the rules? And I was like, you know what? I had no arguments to make. I said, absolutely, put on your seatbelt. Let me put mine on too. I'm a 99.999% of the time seatbelt wearer. It's just as I get in, normally before I even start the engine, but sometimes I'm kind of doing it simultaneously. Like I'll press the button, buckle in. But before I pull off, I am seatbelted in. So, children, even adults, sitting in the back of a truck is one of the most dangerous things you could do on a roadway. All that has to happen is that these kids, you need to brake hard enough, you go over a speed bump, and the kids get thrown off. This could cost them their lives. It's not safe. Gabby says, back in the day, we used to love riding in a truck, but I would never do that with mine or anybody else's children, especially how people drive these days. God forbid someone slams into the back or or the truck turns over. I think we took a lot for granted when we didn't know any better. So yeah, back in the day, you go to the beach on a Sunday, they'd pile everybody into the truck and it didn't really matter how many people were back there. You know, you put the dog back there, the kids, everybody, and you just went out for a ride. I think most people now recognize the dangers of doing this and why it's really not sensible to do this. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, honey child. How are you?
Not too bad. How you doing?
Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored beyond all measures. I'm just trying to figure out why you are ignoring my kabooms.
Oh, I haven't even seen them yet. You say I must give myself a kaboom? Hold on.
Yes.
There you go, honey child.
Honey child, not only are we going to stress about the back of a truck bed, but
Yes.
also in vehicles. You have children playing while vehicle is being driven. You have children sitting awkward with feet up on seat, on the back of the seat, on the dashboard while it's being driven. Oh
That
my
is so
gosh,
dangerous.
and it is so annoying.
Have you seen
and
anybody
upsetting.
Driving with their foot out the window?
Window, yeah.
Oh my gosh. These people have death wish.
I mean, you could have swear they were in their living room. The way they would pose themselves inside of a vehicle. But most of all, what I want to say is that when you have children with that type of behavior, parents are to be blamed. The guardian is to be blamed.
Yeah, these kids don't know any better.
Oh my gosh, when I say no respect whatsoever. No respect whatsoever. Nowadays, children have. You understand? I remember back in the days, you talk too loud over an adult, you get beat. You got adults and you got children in the vehicle. You got children talking and giggling louder than the adults and just sitting in an old house inside of the vehicle. Suppose an accident happened, they're going straight through the windshield or fly out the window. You understand? Guardians and parents, they don't think, some of them, they don't think of how serious it is once they get in a vehicle and sits behind a car wheel and starts that engine and start down a roadway. Oh my gosh, they need to be held accountable for their actions. You understand? When you have some child fly through the windshield, that parent should be lost in Northward and giving me the key. You understand? Because they know better. So when you know better, you do better. You understand? Because at the end of the day, you're putting that child's or those children's lives in danger, ignoring them to allow them to put their foot up on dashboard, out the window, or up on the back of the seat while driving. Oh my gosh, that's potential of so many bones broken if an accident was to happen, God forbid. You understand? Come on. We have sense. We know we couldn't do this when we were their age. Why are we allowing them to do these kind of things when inside of a vehicle? Come on. Safety is something wrong with being safe? It shouldn't take you too long. Cayman is so small. It shouldn't take you too long to get from point A to point B, to sit comfortably, uprightly, seat belts on, and until you get where you're going. Come on, parents and guardians, really?
Yeah.
That's how much you love your children, the children that are under you.
You know, I think that parents, sometimes we must not think. You know, God gave us common sense, supposedly.
Thank you.
But things like this demonstrate in my mind where parents are simply not thinking. And that is unfortunate, because it only takes one incident, one time, for something like this to happen, a serious accident to happen, and a poor child is disfigured for life, or even worse, end up losing their lives, for people to say, and if my memory serves me correctly, we have had those types of accidents already happen. And people forget. They get compliant. And they just, complacent is the right word I'm looking for. And they forget, and they don't care. Oh, I just going up the street. Just throw them in the back of the car. It only takes a split second on our roadways for something to happen. You know, the average accident happens within a couple miles of your home. So you don't have to be going far.
Thank you. And prevention is better than cure. My grand, I always used to say, prevention is better than cure. You hear what I'm telling you? So I'm asking parents, guardians, please show love to your children, to who you're taking care of, by strapping them in or talking to them. Sit up straight and always stay alert and focus on the roadway. The car is not a playing ground. It's not where you play like you're on the playing ground. So some parents need to take that in seriously, because then they're heading for disaster if an accident was to happen, God forbid.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear. I totally agree.
My granny used to say, want a sense, lack of knowledge, why my people perish.
So true.
Okay, darling.
Thank you, Mr. Millie. I appreciate it. And I mean, come on, folks, right? Don't even put your dogs in a bed of a truck, because things can fly in their face, debris, right? They also can fall off. The bed of the truck is meant for storage of items that hopefully you're securing properly, because we're always talking about that. All these workmen be driving and stuff flying off their trucks because they don't have it secured properly. So yes, I mean, it's made for transporting things, but not people. So come on. I didn't think that we had to have this conversation until this person reached out yesterday. And they said that the driver of the truck was arguing with them about, no, this is legal. No, it's not legal. In fact, back in 2019, there was some incident, I can't remember all the details now, that brought it to the attention of the RCIPS. And they actually issued a reminder to the community that the having people in the back of the truck is against the law. And so I'm trying to, let me just see if I can find the specifics. Because yeah, this person was arguing with like, oh no, that's legal. I can do this. Don't argue with the law, folks. The law is a law. And your lack of knowledge and understanding of the law is one thing, but the fact that you are taking risks that are both unlawful and extremely dangerous is unfortunate. Okay. So let me just see here. Yes, back in 2019, we did an article warning passengers not to allow travel in the back of the truck. So the RCIPS were warning drivers. It says, warning, passengers not allowed in the back of the truck. So the police issued, the Traffic and Roads Policing Unit, they're still around, right? Issued a reminder that it is against the law to operate unsafe loads. And that includes any load being carried by a vehicle. For example, equipment being used in the rear of a truck bed must be secured in such a manner as to prevent it from being dislodged or falling from the vehicle or striking other people or property. This also applies to passengers traveling in the vehicle. Passengers should not travel in the back of pickup trucks or similar vehicles. And there was a lot of examples of people on our roadway. I'm going to show you guys this picture because they provided this picture back in the day, back in 2019. And so it looks like we need these occasional reminders of what the law actually says. So here are examples right here in Cayman Roads of like this one, workmen. I see this all the time with workmen. Y'all just pile them up in the back with the ladder and everything else. And it's like, oh, you know, I don't have a proper mode to transport my drivers. So I go pick them up in the back of the truck and just throw them all back there. Oh my gosh. Look at the one to the far. I had to do a double take. I was like, is that Cayman? Yes, you see the Esso sign in the background? That looks like right there by Jose's Esso. Look at how high they have those things stacked. And then they've got two workers sitting there. Heaven forbid the load topples on top of them, or like I said, you have to brake, you know, suddenly or whatever. There's no seat belts on the back of these trucks. There's no airbags. There's no proper seats. So any sudden turns, braking, or crash can throw a person right onto that road, right onto that asphalt, and cause severe death or injury. Even at low speeds, a bumper short corner turn can tip someone over the side. And because there's no protection or structure around them, that is why this is extremely deadly. Even worse when you have people sitting not just down in the truck, but they sit on the sides, on the railing part of the truck. Even worse. And we've all seen that happen. Okay? Really, really crazy. I'm asking you guys to please do better. Know better and do better. That's considered space for cargo, not children and not adult passengers. Such a high risk of ejection and fatal injuries. Okay, somebody says, and I thought there was something around this. Someone says, thank you for the topic. Give me 1 second here. Let me just grab this. Instagram, you guys are good over there? Everybody's good on IG? They behave themselves on Instagram these days. I remember when we first started doing Instagram, they were so naughty. But now they're like, Auntie, we're just here to listen and learn. All right. So this person says, Thank you for this topic. Please remind persons of the accident in the BRAC. Oh my gosh. With persons on the back of a truck that killed 4 persons, 5 people never fully recovered. Really? When was this? Oh my God. I kind of feel like I've heard about these accidents before happening came on, but I didn't know that there was one on the BRAC. The person goes on to say, we need to stop this craziness. What a mess. Someone says there was a double fatality in 2008 with a guy driving in the back of a truck also. Oh no. 2008. I would have been in Cayman then. I don't remember. Thank you for sharing the story, Link. So, Jerome Earl Bodden got sentenced to 5 years imprisonment for causing 2 deaths by dangerous driving. Wow. Bodden deliberately exaggerated his injuries from the accident in hopes of avoiding a prison sentence and using a wheelchair as a cosmetic device to attract sympathy. Oh, God. Who the hell is he? Who is Jerome Bodden? He was young. He also advised that the police had seen Bodden, now 23, walking unaided and without favoring his injured leg. Wow. I don't recall this one. What a mess. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Cousin Sandy.
How you doing, honey chia?
I am doing great. Happy New Year to you, and I hope you had a great Christmas.
Thank you so much.
But by all means,
Same to you.
I can hear that you did, because you're coming back
strong as ever.
Strong as ever. Right. But I want to commend you on the topic, especially about wearing seat belts and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Because
road safety.
Yeah, I have a grandson that is 6 years old.
Aww.
And at first was the same thing like your daughter. He kind of railed and screamed about his mother putting him in the car seat and seat belting him in. But now, at 6 years old, as he gets in the car, he's the first one to clip his belt. And if his sister or mom and dad don't have on their belt, he tell them, don't move this car until you put your seatbelt on. 6 years old. So you see, that training, it's effective and it saves lives. But also I want to take this further. We have a lot of other craziness happening here on the roads. For example, I drive on the road every day and I see some real craziness, like people driving and overtaking someone on a roundabout. Now, people don't understand what it means when there's a broken line and when there's a straight line. You do not overtake on a straight line. You overtake on a broken line. And as you can see, when you're going around a roundabout, it's a straight line. After you get off, then there's broken lines. That's when you are legally allowed to overtake. But this is happening very often, prevalently on a daily basis. We're also getting people parking halfway up on top a sidewalk. So pedestrians have to walk in the streets on oncoming traffic. People are not also using their indicators correctly. I see people got the indicators to the right side and they're going left. I mean, come on. What kind of driver are you? You're not really certified as a proper driver when you don't even know the proper indications for your indicators. Then we got people parking on double yellow lines. The police are passing them and doing absolutely nothing. So the police are contributing to all of this road ruthlessness. Because I was driving behind one police car just yesterday. The police made a series of turns and not one time did they use their indicators. So what kind of example are they setting?
Yeah.
You know, it is ridiculous. And I just want to back up and say, back in the 80s, when we had the Minister for Tourism, Mr. Norman Bodden, we had a dress code. In other words, Tourists could not walk on the street in bikinis and so on.
Yes, I remember that.
Right. But because we do not have enforcement, we just let everything slide. And now it is a major problem. In addition, there was a law that large vehicles like bulldozers and dump trucks and so on could not be on the road competing with the traffic from between 6 and 9 in the morning. Now we're having that very prevalently with these cement trucks, dump trucks, and other different trucks. And this is what's also adding to the delay in the traffic. So, I mean, the police department really have to get their act together.
Yeah.
And this comes from the top because the commissioner, yes, is a relative of mine, but I don't care who don't like it. He is a moron. He's not doing the right thing.
Well, I'm going to defend the police commissioner in this
Well,
moment.
you can defend Sandy, you can defend him as much as you want. Right? While I'm speaking,
I think that he is at the top, and he is obviously responsible. But if he doesn't know, this is what he said. Remember when he was in the show last time? He said, "Listen, people have to follow the law." Now, remember there was a video I posted with police officers on their phones, and I did not know that they had legal permission to actually be on their phone. I never knew that. I was flabbergasted. I was like, they do? So there's some things that we ourselves don't even know, I'll be honest with you.
Legal permission from who? Because the law is crystal clear.
Well, apparently they're exempted from this particular aspect of it, which I do think is pretty wild and crazy.
Yeah.
But having said that, I think that if the police commissioner knows something and knows that his officers are doing something wrong, he will enforce it. This has just been my experience.
I beg to differ because I personally have gone to the commissioner's office with reports.
But have you spoken to him?
Could not get the opportunity.
Okay.
I was denied on five.
Well, this is where now I'm willing to bet that he probably didn't get the message or he didn't get it straight.
Exactly. So what I had to do to get his attention and to get to speak with him, knowing where the office is, I had to sit outside and wait until he came out of the building, and then I spoke with him in the parking lot. Because first of all, when you go and you request to speak with the commissioner, they want to know what you want to talk to the commissioner about.
So that's the problem, is they're always trying to filter stuff that gets to him.
So you get shut down.
Yeah.
You get shut down and shut down. And this is ridiculous because how can you be a defender of the people when you don't know or you don't understand or know what the problems are? And before the problem can even be articulated to you, then how can they be addressed? Quite simply. You know how, Sandy? As usual, you're doing a fantastic job. Keep it up. Cayman Mall Road is the #1 media source in Cayman.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, bye now.
Okay, bless you. Yes, wow. Like I said, I think if the police commissioner doesn't know certain things, he can't fix it. And sometimes the people around him are constantly trying to filter and protect him from any and everybody, but certain things he need to know, honey child. Just to clarify what is on the screen and what was said, they said the fifth person never fully recovered, but several people died during this accident from people. And they said the driver, he was, of course, it's always the one person, they were okay. The driver is still alive and he wasn't related. He was just their friend. And there was multiple family members on the back of that vehicle. 4 out of 5 died. Oh my God. Jeez, on peace. I don't know how the drivers in these situations live with themselves. To know that you, because of your recklessness and your behavior, 4 people got killed. I don't know that I'd ever be able to sleep at night. Oh my God, that would haunt me. Oh my God. Here's another example of egregious driving on our roadways. I was looking at this one thinking at first they sent this video because the person who pulls out, this is why you got to have a dash cam though. Look at this. Have a look at this video. So they're driving along. This was just on the 4th, day before yesterday. This is West Bay Road. As you can see, they just passed that, what is that Thai Orchid building called? So they just passed that. See, at first I thought this is what they were going to show me, this vehicle here, but I guess they pulled over and they waited in the middle lane because there is a middle turn lane. So that seems like it was okay. They keep driving, passing the bakery, and they keep driving, passing the crosswalk. They're passing the new Hyatt Hotel, still under construction. Yep. And sometime at night, I don't know what time, their thing doesn't have a timestamp. It's obviously at night. We can see it's at night. Not that many cars on the road. And then we see this vehicle in front of them. I wish they had a better dash camera because we'd be able to see that license. Goes that way. They make a last minute turn. So look at this. They make a last minute decision to go in the opposite direction. In all fairness to them, they did put on their indicator. So technically, they probably had enough space to do that. No problem yet. But you can see they kind of changed their minds at the last minute. But look at this. They then run right through. They pause for a minute and then drive right through the red light. Is it no wonder that we are having the number of accidents that we have here on our roadway? Is it no wonder? My God, something is wrong with you all. So I'm going to see if we can enlarge this and get the plate number. But yes, it is going to be reported to the authorities. Send us your videos because we will pass it on to the police, and the popo will then have, as the caller said, a legal responsibility to enforce the law. You don't drive through a red light. Who does that? Well, apparently this person. Looks like another Honda driver. Is that a Honda? Looks like a Honda. I can't really tell. Now, here's the importance of getting good quality dash cams. Not for nothing, folks, but quality matters. Because a couple things here. When you get the dash cams with the CPL on it, it cuts down on the glare from things like the lights, the what do you call it? The sun glare and stuff like that. And also you are more properly able to see the license plate number under night conditions. And so that is why quality matters. I know some of you are like, Sandy, I'm not paying no money for no dash cam. I can get whatever. Well, you can get whatever. You're certainly free to do that. But why quality matters is that at night, when you have those sensors in that night vision, that is extremely important. And I tell you not a word of lie. The ones that we have, yes, they're top of the line, but they're top of the line for a reason. Okay. That lens, the quality of that lens. And let me tell you, they have a thing called Starvis 2, which is the technology that's actually in the unit that makes it more likely that you're going to be able to see like the details on those license plates. Let me get you some of the details. Because yes, that Starvis triple, Starvis 2 technology means that you have the what's called HDR infrared night vision. That HDR infrared night vision allows you to see plate information at night. It's 2 times clearer. And I'm going to give you a little example here of what I'm talking about. This is why night vision 4.0. Notice I didn't say PPM 4.0. I said night vision 4.0 really, really matters. Technology, I mean, not all things are created equal. So you see here now, this is what I'm talking about. All right. So you got all these options. OTA updates, view live videos, share video, GPS tracking, smart app, obviously. And then this night vision makes a difference. So you go from that to that, being able to actually see the plate number. Okay. So it's the technology that's built into it. Star Vis 2, plate pics, and 4K HDR. So the person, I said, did you get a plate number? They said, no, I couldn't see it because of the light. Mm-hmm. Get yourselves dash cams that have this night vision option. All right. Okay, honey children. Mm-hmm. But we will nonetheless put it together so that the authorities will send this over to them. Hopefully they will be able to, they'll be able to get it together. The other thing is, if for some reason you can't see, right, properly, let me just put this out there because this makes sense. Sometimes you're like, okay, if the dash cam doesn't get the license plate number, you know what else I do? I'll tell you what else I do. Because the cameras have voice, the interior cabin, it has an interior cabin camera, because remember, it's like a 3-camera system, right? Because they have that voice option on the interior inside camera, I actually will read out the license plate because the human eye can see it. So I'll say 165212. And now I actually have it because I can supply both my internal cab camera as well as the external one. I now have it to give the popo to say in real time, I read out the license plate number. Y'all got to think. I'm helping you think in 2026. Does those traffic cams at the top of the light even work? You mean the ones that tell it to change, or just regular traffic cams that are recording? I mean, they're supposed to be working. I can't tell you how well they're working, but anyhow. So thank you to all of you who take the time to send in your footage. Because the one thing I do, I got the email addresses for the traffic division, even all the blue spot violators. I send it. Yes, we post it on social media because we're going to shame and name. We're going to name and shame if we know their names, or we're going to shame them. But I'm also sending it to the popo. So where appropriate, the police can take action, whether it's ticketing or whatever as well. You know, they increased the fines the other day for littering from $500 to $5,000. Can we get a kaboom for that? I don't think a public announcement has really been made, but we've told you guys this because we got the info. So as we get intel, we're not hanging on to it. We're letting the people know. But you know what they need to do for the blue spot violators? We need to put in place. The fine for them is, what is the fine for blue spot violators? It's not very much. Whatever it is, it's not very much. I think what we need to do is we need to implement a higher fine. Again, I think $2,500 sounds about good. What do y'all think? $2,500? I'll put that up as a poll question. $2,500 fine for blue spot violators. I bet you y'all won't touch a blue spot again. Sometimes that's all you have to do, you know. Make the penalty fit the offense, and y'all gonna start paying attention. I'm gonna ask this government. That's one of the fees the Minister of Finance should have increased. Blue spot violators. Yes. How many of y'all support me on that? $2,500. Lord Jesus. Take the wheel. Okay, honey child. Let me see now. Anthony Strong Will says, oh my God, that's not nice. What isn't nice? I missed something. Let me back up. Cameron Brack says, yep, that was 1978. Oh, I was just but a little thing. I remember I heard about that accident. Oh, 1978. Yeah, I definitely would not have known about that, but so sad. There are those whom do not assimilate, and assimilation also means obeying the laws in the country. Absolutely. Jim says there will forever be ignorance with some people, no matter how much information is provided to them. And that's why you have enforcement. The guy died in Northside. I think that's why the police issued that reminder, you know. I do think there was some sort of incident, and I think that's probably what it was. Somebody died. Anthony says, yes, the guy died in Northside from falling from the bed of a truck in 2019. That's why they issued that, to remind people that you shouldn't be on the bed of a truck. It's really easy to die. You have nothing to protect you. You fall off, even if you survive the fall, because that asphalt, you hit your head on that. Even if you survive the fall, you then potentially run risk of other things, like getting ran over by the car behind you and all this other stuff. Anthony says, Mr. Amelia, the whole world has gone mad over the word expression. With your sex education behavior, we know better, but uses the word expression as an excuse. Lord Jesus. Barbara says, back in the day, the speed limit was 25 and there's only a handful of cars on the island. Morning, Miss Joyce Ann. How are you? I think I need to double check the messages you were sending me yesterday. Jim says, what I'm happy to have not seen in a long time, adult drivers having a child sitting on their lap while driving down the road. However, still I see kids without their seatbelts on. Well, not too long ago, I saw person in the front seat with a baby, pretty young child. They were like kind of standing up, so probably not quite toddler age yet. And they were in the front seat with this child. And I love to see that. I'm being facetious when I say I love to see how y'all be rolling down the window and having the child like practically hanging out the window. I'm just like, what's wrong with you guys? Carrie says, yes, I remember that accident. A couple cousins died. Oh my God, that must be so hard in the family. Right east of the creek dock, Wayne Ryan was the driver. He survived, and they were celebrating finishing high school. Probably out having a few drinks too. So sad. And who is Wayne Ryan? Is he still around? He's still alive? Like I said, I can't imagine having to live with that on my conscience. That area still has a sand issue, which also played a role in the speeding truck skidding off the road. What a mess. It's horrible. Okay, selling dash cams is a boss move. Well, I got to be honest, it was just a logical move, you know, and the reason why I started, not because I'm here, I'm not really making no pile of money off of them, I'll be honest. When I look at my cost, it's, you know, slight margin. But I just thought to myself, everybody deserves to have a good dash cam, and y'all don't seem to know what you're looking for because not all dash cams are created equal. And it goes, I tell you what, Miss Stacy witnessed a fatality. I think it was sometime last year. I can't remember exactly when. One that was kind of in the Boddentown area when she was going home early one morning. And her dash cam did not capture it for some reason. I thought, this is why, again, not all dash cams are created equal. I took advice from somebody in the dash cam to put in that car, and I said, nope. All my dash cams, all my vehicles are going to have the same dash cam that I feel confident in. Because even the police were like, oh, can we get the dash cam footage? Because it literally happened right in front of her. The accident literally happened right in front of her. And somebody died. When we went to pull the dash cam issue, I was like, you know what? Let's get you the best. So, yeah. I would do the same thing at midnight if there weren't any other cars coming from the left, but you're not allowed to do that, El Rey. There's sensors at the lights, so the light is going to change. It's not like the light isn't going to change. And let's watch it again. Because first of all, we see cars passing it. There's at least 2 cars right there that just came from Eastern Avenue. And there is at least another car or 2 in front of it as well. Y'all see that? So it's not like there was nobody else on the road. So you don't get to just go through a red light. See the other cars there? I don't know. And then look at what happens. This is interesting. Once somebody saw him do it from the opposite side, they're like, oh, he just went through the red light, so I can do it too. You saw how that car started to take off? Isn't that something? When you see other people breaking the law, you think to yourself, oh, it's okay if I do it as well. Morning, Mr. Richard. There's an easy way, says Anthony, to get the license plate. It's obvious the police have the timestamp. All they have to go after is a national CCTV camera and pull the plate. Case solved. Yeah. Aisle 2020 said that's a real entrepreneur. 3 minutes work for a prosecution. Well, we'll give them the footage and see what they do. Jim says, again, if these laws aren't being enforced, then what's the point? Seriously, we need enforcement. Morning, Rennie. How you doing? Happy New Year. Those are for the traffic lights, and yes, they should be operational. They are what detect vehicles and are used to calculate traffic flow. Anthony says if the fine was $2,500, that can buy 2 Honda Fits. No, sir. Not parking there. But I bet you it would make people think real carefully about parking there. Yeah, I'm willing to bet you're not going to have too many people that would do it. Fine and confine, says Richard. Abby says, and can we get more expecting mothers spots around the place too, please? Oh, yes, they have those in the States a lot. Because, you know, expectant mothers, especially if you're really in the last trimester, sometimes it's hard to walk. Although they tell you the walking is good for you to get you ready for labor and stuff like that. Sometimes you get a little bit wobbly and it is a challenge. So yeah, Gabby, but you know, parking in Cayman is a premium because land is a premium. So when you build a building, you do the bare minimum with parking spots. All right, lawns. Okay, let's talk about lands. Sorry. Let's talk about the e-vehicles. I'm going to go through a couple things here on our Q&A list about the e-vehicles. What I can also tell you is I have reached out to the insurance companies again about who is going to be covering these. And by today, I should be able to put up something, a news article or something on social media about this. So I am working on the insurance part of it. So sorry. I am working on the insurance part of it. so that we can get you some additional information. Okay? Jim says, girl, we know you're a real businesswoman. Go get her, move and shake her, a powerhouse entrepreneur. Aw, thank you so much. I've kind of always been that way, like low key. I think in life, when you got to come up with your own solutions to make an honest dime, you know, I've been making it happen for a long time. When I was doing my little baked goods in high school, actually in junior high school, started in junior high school. Even before then, really, because I used to go pick up cans in the neighborhood and take them to the recycling facility in Tampa so I could get some money. And then I brokered a deal with my aunt with my grades. Like I would get so much for an A, so much for a B, nothing for a C. So we had to keep those grades up there. But once I realized, oh, if I get good grades, I'm going to get paid for it, it became a job. It's a business. And boy, I started to hustle with them books. Started bringing those A's. My aunt was like, so you mean to tell me you could have done this all this time? I was like, yes, Auntie, but now I'm motivated. Now there's money attached to it. So come again. Oh, yes, we did that in high school. Boy, I was raking in those A's and raking in some money. I can't remember how much. It wasn't much. It's probably like maybe $25 for an A. I can't really remember. But yes. All right. Auntie, you still helping the popo? Oh, God. You know what? I don't, maybe we need to look at it a different way, strong-willed. It's not me helping the popo. It's me helping the people of the Cayman Islands. So I feel you. And I think the bigger issue is more with the DPP's office than the popo. Because they're the ones who ultimately tell the popo whether to charge someone or not with their nonsense. But yes, I'm still helping to try to keep our communities as safe as possible, whether it's from bad drivers, dangerous drivers, and other crimes. Because I got to live in this community. So, you know, yep. And so I feel compelled to do the right thing in a community that I have to live in. For sure. Okay, let's go through it. Now, I should tell you that there is a good possibility, I've been reliably informed this morning, that there's a good possibility that enforcement will be pushed back a little bit to give you guys additional time on this. Not yet confirmed. We should know for sure by Thursday. So stay tuned. This is the whole enforcement on the e-bike, scooters, and similar personal transport devices, because it's obvious that you guys need a little bit more time to become compliant. All right. So, you know, the government isn't trying to make your life difficult. These are laws that have been on the books. These are existing laws. They're not new. And, you know, we just want to give you the facts so that you know what you have to do. There's clarity around it. We still have to have some guests come on the program. We're trying to get one confirmed for this week. So that you guys can know what the rules are of the road. They apply when enforcement is going to come into play and what it is that you need to do. Okay. All right. So Q&A questions. Question number 1. And you guys have a lot of questions, so we're going to come back to this. Okay. Is this a crackdown on e-bikes and scooters? No. This is about ensuring that people understand the existing legal requirements that already apply. And this sort of educational period has been undertaken by the ministry to try to get people to understand all of the different elements. This is what we call a public campaign now, to get you to understand all of the different elements of the legislation that are already there to make sure that you can be fully compliant. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra. How are you?
Not bad. How you doing?
I'm all right. Sandra, I just saw what you said there about becoming compliant. But, you know, let's remember the fact is you just said that you're not getting, even with your platform, you're not getting any solid answers from the insurance companies. Somebody just made a comment.
Well, I'm
that
getting
they
answers, and the answer. Well, I am getting
and
some
they
answers.
have no information about it there. So how is a member of the public who has an e-bike or whatever it is supposed to be compliant if the government themselves don't know?
All right. So
You know,
let me
cart
be
before a horse.
let me be clear. We are getting responses. Now, originally we reached out in December, and I guess some people were probably on vacation and whatever. We are getting responses. So I'm waiting and giving them sufficient time, right, to give me the responses, and then I will put that information out in the public.
Cool. What about the person who just left a comment saying that she went to DVDL and they say they don't know?
We're supposed to have the head of DVDL on the program this week.
So obviously that clarity needs to be forefront, in order for it to work.
I agree. And I think that the campaign also happening over the Christmas rush, the timing is a little bit probably not the best timing. And I believe there's a number of factors, that's probably one of them, why they will extend the public education period. So this is a public education period, right? They are trying, and they've been putting it on different platforms and that sort of thing. So your point is well understood. I know that this ministry listens to feedback from the public. So more to come, Jonathan. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Okay. Just look to those in the powers that be. Come on. Let's hop in the cart before horse stuff here. If the laws are going to change, it needs to be made clear, and the structure needs to be in place prior to implementation.
They're going to do it.
That's the point being.
Absolutely.
Have a good day, Sandra.
Thank you, my darling. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Sandra.
All right. So yes, they are listening, I can tell you, and they have said to me that the feedback, there's a mosquito in here. The feedback that we have, pesky mosquito. The feedback that we have received from your platform and from your listeners, both on social media and during the show, has been immensely helpful in us deciding on the continued education, the questions that need to be answered, and so on. So I do believe I'm waiting on confirmation of which day this week, but I was told that we should have a response by way of guests. Head of the DVDL should be on this week. Okay, so I'm just waiting to get a date. I don't see anything confirmed yet, but I'm willing to just hoping to get a date. All right, so we are waiting on that. The head of DVL should be on, and we're going to have other members of the safety committee coming on the program as well. All right, so we're just going through a little Q&A. So next question, why is enforcement starting now? So answer, there's been a noticeable increase in the use of e-bikes and scooters. This campaign ensures that the public has clear information and adequate time to become compliant before enforcement of existing laws begin. And every day, I'm seeing these e-scooters more and more. Just yesterday, I saw one, and I thought to myself, why are they not protecting their little noggins? Why are they not wearing a helmet? And not for nothing, but most of them kind of jiggly, and, they don't seem that safe anyway. The wheels be wobbling all over the place. I'm like, oh, I see them all the time. It's time for enforcement. All right, next question. Why do riders need a driver's license? Response, e-bikes and scooters operate in the same traffic environment as motor vehicles. Licensing ensures riders understand the road rules, signage, and safe road behavior. On Saturday, I saw one of these vehicles. An adult was on it, riding through Camana Bay on the waterfront. What about tourists or visitors? This is another excellent question. Response is, anyone riding an e-bike or scooter on public roads must comply with the law. The education campaign is intended to ensure all users understand their responsibilities. So, of course, if you are in the business of leasing these e-scooters, that company in particular, because they have a lot of public ones where people hop off and hop on, they now have to adjust their business model to be fully compliant with the requirements. And that's a matter for them. When you get into certain businesses, it is what it is, right? What happens if someone is not compliant after the date? So right now it's January the 6th. It may be adjusted to give you guys more time. The response is enforcement of existing laws will take place. Any enforcement action will be handled in accordance with the law. Next question, are helmets required? Safety requirements apply, and riders are expected to operate responsibly. Safety and compliance go together. So, yes. I think some of the answers could be a bit more direct, but here we go. Okay, who is leading this campaign? The campaign is being coordinated through the National Road Safety Committee under the National Road Safety Strategy, and that is with the Ministry PLAHI, which is Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing, and Infrastructure. Woo, I got that right. The RCIPS, the NRA, and DVDL all working together. Where can the public get more information? So I agree with Jonathan. We need more information. And so we will be providing, we've been posting on social media. We're going to have guests on the program. You're going to be able to answer your questions. Anytime you send through a question, I'm taking note of those and forwarding that along to members of the National Road Safety Committee so that they can address your specific questions. All right. And we're going to dive into the details when we have the guests coming on the program. So more to come. We're giving you the bits and pieces that we have available and more to come for sure. Anthony, let me see. So Lance says, so what will happen then once January the 16th reach and there's nothing? Are we going to be using the e-bikes? When you say there's nothing, what does that mean? What do you mean there's nothing? I think one of the critical things is your ability to get insurance. And like I said, I am waiting on some of the insurance companies to respond to me so we can provide that information. But at least one of them has replied favorably that they will have something in place. And so you'll at least be able to get insurance through them. Anthony says it can be another solution too. Just outlaw them from importation. But what about the ones that are already here? So the government isn't taking obviously that heavy-handed of a response, but they are saying if they're here, then you've got to comply. Kind of meeting you halfway, I guess. South Beach has prohibited them. A lot of places have, Paris and stuff like that. I think busy cities, they really have become a nuisance because they really are dangerous and people zipping in and out of traffic and all sorts of foolishness. So bicycles are not included in this. Bicycles are not included. Yeah, so you can still pedal your bike. It's the e-bikes, scooters, and this whole category defined as personal, hold on, let me get the proper name here for you. Personal, what are they against? Personal something devices. And they do have a whole picture list of what falls into the category as well. All right. Personal transport devices. E-bike, scooters, and similar personal transport devices. Traditional bicycles do not come into that. Uriel says that opposite light goes green when the turn light red also. So technically only one car can run the red light. Oh, you're saying the guy on the other side had the green light already? Oh, okay. Hopefully. Hopefully. Micro mobility devices. Yep. All righty, honey child. That's all we got for you. Another beautiful day in paradise. Thank you guys so much. Sabrina's back. So please tune in to Sabrina Speaks, 5 p.m. today. And throughout the day, we have a variety of different shows all lined up. And yeah. I'm actually going to do, I'm going to ask this guy to do something for me today. Yes. Okay. So that's all we got. I wish you guys a very safe and productive day. Andrew says e-bike scooters are motorized, and that is why they need to be compliant as not manual power. That's right. And the sales and rental companies will have to make sure that the renter has a valid Class O license. Because some of you guys are even purchasing these for kids, which is very dangerous. Lance says some of these e-bikes were identical to manual bike, but with a battery attached to it. So if you remove the battery, is it still considered an e-bike? Yes, because you can put the battery back in. So I think I'm going to ask the question for you, but in my opinion, I would say that if it was sold as an e-bike, you can't then modify it to not be an e-bike. Whatever it was sold as, because now you're starting to really split hairs with, oh, well, the battery was out, so therefore it's no longer an e-bike. From what I know about the law, Lance, I would say to you that I seriously doubt that that is going to be allowed. If it was sold as an e-bike and it's on the roadway and you're caught, you need to be fully compliant, because you could take that battery in and out at will. So, nope. You're going to have to be compliant. Good morning, Devin, says Sandy. Good morning. I remember when I was growing up, we had to license our bicycle. Yeah, there was a time when that was happening too. Nicardo says, what about the e-bikes that can also pedal? They're still an e-bike. If you want a straight pedal bike, get a straight pedal bike with no e-bike capacity. So I get it. Yes, some of them are hybrids. But I think once it has any power, as Anthony rightfully said, if it's motorized in any way, you have to be compliant with the law. Yes, some of them have the option to turn the motorization off and on and just regularly paddled. But once that motorization is there, it would be classified as a personal transport device within this definition. And so therefore, you would still have to be compliant with the coming legislation. All right. So I'm trying to help. As I know something and as I learn something, I will certainly advise you guys and let you know. All right, beautiful folks. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And thank you very, very much for your questions, because as I get these questions in, I forward them to the respective authority, and then they know this needs to be added to your list of your Q&A questions, so that we can, know exactly what the law says and what's happening. All right. Road safety at the forefront of our minds as we start out 2026. But hopefully, it'd be good if we could go another year and have 0 fatalities. Lance, don't worry. It's definitely coming. Stay tuned right here to CMR as we bring you all of the latest information. Beautiful folks, have a wonderful, super productive day. Be safe on the roadways, please. And Anthony says they can go 5 times faster than a regular bicycle, more dangerous. So please be careful on the roadways and, use a little bit of common sense. It's worth getting there a few minutes slower. It's worth it getting there safely and alive. All right. On behalf of myself and my co-host Zeus, who is over here snoozing and stretching right now, he just did a big stretch. Oh, look at that. Big stretch. We wish you an amazing Tuesday. Tune in this afternoon to all of the shows that we have on, including Sabrina Speaks at 5 p.m. Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels and visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.